10 sexy lavender scents. Can lavender be sexy? Well, yes, obviously, if you always remember that it's you that makes the fragrance sexy and not the fragrance that makes you sexy. No, 10. I said 10, but this is a channel that we talk about the good stuff and the bad stuff, and I've one in here that is a beautiful lavender scent, but just not worth your money. So this is no top list, this is not the best lavender fragrances in the world because I haven't tried them all, but these are the 10s that I picked out, and if your favorite isn't included here, don't go whine about it in the comment section, but come with a suggestion instead and give me some ideas for me to follow up. That would be much appreciated. Now let's get into it. Hi, my name is Tim and welcome to another edition of Smelly Sweet. And we are gonna start off with the one that you should avoid, and that is Floraiku's When Flower Turns Purple. Now I was hunting the most natural smelling lavender fragrance and I found it in this one, so it is beautiful, but the performance is lousy, it is crap, and for the price you pay, never gonna be worth it. What you can do instead is go out in the summertime when the lavender grows, cut yourself some flowers and just rub you in on it. You will probably get better performance out of that than you do with Floraiku's When Flowers Turn Purple. Now, we're gonna move on to some better stuff, and the first fragrance out that I could really recommend is Tom Ford's Beau de Jour. Now this was released in 2019, it came in the private blend. In 2020 it was removed to the signature line, which gave it a much better price point. When this was released, it put a new measure point out for perfumery when it comes to class. Because this is class, this is sophistication and elegance in a tiny little fucking bottle. This just smells like money. Every single spray smells like money. Imagine this with a clean shave, some well-dressed 3-4 sprays of this one on you, and you're gonna smell as you have as much money on the bank as Elon fucking Musk lost when he bought Twitter. This opens up with a blast of lavender, and it goes in a soapy way, but not in a clean soapy way, thanks to the amber that you find in the base, a creamy amber that lays behind that beautiful lavender already from the top. You also have some herbal aromatic aspects here from the mint, the basil and the rosemary. Just a beautiful creation. It is a classic barbershop but with a modern twist thanks to that creamy amber. Talking about classic barbershops with a modern twist, I can't leave out T.R.N.P D'Aguilar out of this list. T.R.N.P might be a new host for you, might not have heard about it, but that is what I'm trying to do with this channel. Give you some well-known fragrances and mix it up with some less known. Now, T.R.N.P is an Australian house, and the quality of the fragrances I put up there with the likes of Nasomato. They are complex, they use natural ingredients, and they have awesome performance. This one gives you a sweet, cooling feeling. It opens up and you think it goes in a classic barbershop way because they use 4 different kind of lavenders in this little tiny little bottle. But then it turns green and floral and sweet. You have a lime grapefruit combination in the opening here that just pushes all the way to the dry down. But as I said, it turns green, it turns floral. And did I mention the woods in this one? Cedar, sandalwood, you have honeysuckle, tonka bean. I mean, by now you can guess just how complex this fragrance is. Now it's time to move on to some sweeter stuff. And the next one is the sweet, sexy Parfums de Molly's Layton. You can't leave it out. If it has lavender and it is super sexy video, well, Layton has to be included. But you know all about this one already. Something I've seen doing a bit of rounds on social media now is Haramain Detour Noir. Now this is supposed to be very similar to Layton. In the opening it is. In the opening it is, and it is good value for your money because it comes cheap, But there is an important difference between these two, and that is the dry down. In the dry down, this rich vanilla with some gaiac wood just is amazing and is what makes me love this fragrance. Detour Noir from Haramain is missing that. The vanilla becomes flat. It's no rich vanilla, just a flat vanilla. And the gaiac wood, well, the gaiac wood I can't find in this one. So for that reason, if I had to choose paying the money this one cost or the money this one cost, I still would pick Layton because it just is superior quality. Next one, and the next one out is Initio Rehab. This one speaks to my soul. It gives me confidence and it brings out my inner Zorro. You know, a human but with the confidence of a superhero. And it seems to have that magnetic effect on the ladies, or at least my wife. The lavender in this one is right at the top, together with a spicy tobacco. And in the heart of this fragrance you find a dry, smoky cedar, and that transforms that spicy tobacco into a smoky tobacco. Combine that with a creamy patchouli resting on a base of musk, sandalwood and gaiac wood. Vanilla. Well, there is no vanilla listed, but you get a slight vanilla bourbon feeling out of this one, kind of in a dry way. When you put all this together, you have a piece in your hands that just works. It has the complement factor and it's versatile. You can wear it all year round. Maybe not on the hottest summer's days, but it just works. It has that. It has it. With this next one, we have a cheaper alternative to Rehab. No, it's not Spice Bomb. No, it's not Spice Bomb Extreme. It is Mercedes-Benz Select Night. And no, it's not that similar to Rehab, but it has some aspects to point at. The lavender at the top, and here compared to Rehab, the vanilla, bourbon vanilla shines through right at the start of the lifetime of this fragrance. But there are some other points to point at as well. The cedar, the sandalwood, the creamy patchouli. But there is no tobacco in this one. Instead, you get cardamom. And I have to ask myself if the combination of lavender and cardamom is the ladies' blue pill for men. You do get what I mean with that. But come on, you find lavender, cardamom and Layton, which is seen as one of the sexiest perfumes in the game. You have it in this one, and I actually bought this one on recommendation from one of my lady co-workers. She said, when my boyfriend wears this one, he knows it is time for some extra special cozy time. And you're gonna find the cardamom lavender combination in this next one. And the next one is La Nuit de l'Homme Bleu Electrique. Just look at the color of this one. It might give you the wrong impression because it is not a blue aquatic fragrance. Instead, I think of a dark blue night scent. Make sense? To me it does. Now, this might sound a bit creepy, but this is a fragrance you wear when you go out for the hunt. And something hunters do when they are out hunting is mating calls. This is your mating call. But there is a big chance that you're gonna have competitors. Eros, Sauvage, Le Male. But there is a big chance that you will stand out from all those Eros, Sauvage, Le Male hunters. So let them turn home with the wild hogs and you can pick up the deer. But compared to Sauvage, Eros and Le Male, you're gonna need to overspray this one because a performance isn't the best. It could be better, or take a decant with you and you will sure stand out and return home with the beautiful lady at the bar. With this next one, we are gonna return to the lavender tobacco combination, Xerjoff Naxos. This sweet, creamy vanilla honey tonka together with a rich tobacco is just irresistible. Now all this sounds like a sweet, warm, sexy fragrance, but the journey this one takes you on is something else because it opens up with that fresh citrus lavender combination, and before it goes in that sweet, warm, sexy direction, it takes a little of a direction into a soapy vibe. Now all this makes this one very wearable and versatile. Slap on a great performance and you have one of Xerjoff's 10 out of 10 fragrances. Now remember, I'm very careful with rating my perfumes that high, 10 out of 10, using the word masterpiece. I'm very careful, and this is one of the few times that I actually do that with Xerjoff Naxos. The next one is something that deserves way more attention, and that is Jovoy's 21 Conduit Street. The way they work the lavender into this fragrance is just so unique, because I get two feelings of it. First, I get a classic barbershop feeling, and then I get a feeling of doing something illegal that involves sweet green herbal stuff. But you also find a sourness from the rhubarb, a sweet nuttiness from the almond, but most of all a big dose of ambroxan. Now, it might feel as if it has a weak performance, but I think you just go nose blind because of the big dose of ambroxan in this one. So it is easy that you want to overspray this one, but don't do that, because if you do that, the sweetness will choke people around you. So it is important to find your balance with this fragrance, because when you do that, that is when you get the heads to turn. And this is nothing I just pick out of the blue, because me and my wife were at the local shopping mall for a few weeks ago, and I was wearing this one, and I stood outside of the shoe store watching in on my wife, and she said when she looked at me, she saw a couple of times ladies and gentlemen passing, just looking at me, turning the head, and we can all agree on that my looks ain't the reason they are turning the head. Now we're gonna round up this lavender video with Acqua di Gio's Eau de Parfum. Now this is a beautiful fragrance. I love the ocean vibe in this one, and together with the Tuscany countryside feeling I get thanks to the lavender and the clary sage, the herbal aspect of that one, just a beautiful fragrance in my opinion. But however, I feel that this is just a money grabbing piece of perfumery from Acqua di Gio. The reason is that it doesn't distance itself from the other flankers, because it takes in something from all the flankers around, and for that reason just becomes redundant if you have anything of the other ones. And performance does leave a lot to wish for as well. Yeah, it has a good longevity, 6 to 7 hours, but the projection is next to nothing. After 30-40 minutes, it is basically a skin scent. So for that reason, I would say that this is a money-grabbing lavender fragrance, however beautiful it might be. That was all for today, my friends. I hope you enjoyed this lavender video. For you guys who stay this long, a big thank you. For you guys who think I'm a waste of space stealing your fucking precious, piss off, don't come back. The rest of you, I hope to see you again.